Thach Sanh. Long ago, there was a kind and good-hearted couple who were in their old age and still had no children. The Jade Emperor decided to send a prince down to be reborn as their child. The wife became pregnant and gave birth to a handsome boy named Thach Sanh. A few years passed as the elderly couple passed away one after another. Thach Sanh lived alone under a banyan tree. Every day, he would go into the forest and chop wood to support himself. When Thach Sanh grew up, the Jade Emperor sent someone to teach him martial arts and magical powers. One day, a wine merchant named Thach passed by the banyan tree. Seeing that Thach Sanh was strong and honest, Thach suggested they become sworn brothers. Thach Sanh agreed and went to live with Thach and his mother. In the region, there was a fierce python with magical powers that liked to eat humans. It forced the villagers to build a temple in its honor, and each year, they had to sacrifice one person to live in peace. That year, it was Thach's turn to be sacrificed. Thach tricked Thach Sanh into guarding the temple in his place. Thach Sanh went to the temple and managed to defeat the python. He cut off its head and burned its body, then from the ashes, a set of a golden bow and arrows appeared. Overjoyed, he picked up the bow and arrows and carried the python's head back home. Thach lied to Thach Sanh that the python was the king's pet, so whoever killed it would be punished. Thach told him to run away, promising to take care of everything. Thach Sanh returned to live under the old banyan tree. Meanwhile, Thach presented the head of the giant snake to the king and was appointed as a governor. The king had a beautiful daughter named Gwyn No. Many princes from other lands wanted to marry her, but she hadn't agreed to any. One day, when she was strolling in the royal garden, a giant eagle swooped down and snatched her away. Thach Sanh was sitting under the banyan tree when he saw the eagle flying by. He quickly drew his bow and shot an arrow. The king sent Thach to rescue the princess. Thach quickly asked Thach Sanh to help. Thach Sanh led Thach and his soldiers to the eagle's nest by following the trail of blood. Thach Sanh alone went down into the deep cave. He found Princess Gwyn No, tied a rope around her waist, and signaled for the soldiers to pull her up. As the princess reached the ground, Thach ordered the soldiers to fill the entrance of the cave with rocks. Down in the cave, Thach Sanh killed the eagle. He even rescued the prince of the Water Kingdom who had been captured by the eagle and imprisoned in the cave. The prince invited Thach Sanh to his underwater palace to express his gratitude. Before parting ways, the Water Kingdom's king presented Thach Sanh with a magical instrument. The spirits of the python and the giant eagle, after their deaths, met each other and plotted revenge against Thach Sanh. They sneaked into the king's palace, stole gold and silver, and hid it under the banyan tree to frame Thach Sanh for theft. As a result, Thach Sanh was arrested and imprisoned in a dark cell. In the dark cell, Thach Sanh took out the magical instrument given to him by the king of the Water Kingdom and began to play. The music was mournful, resembling a sigh, telling of Thach's lies. The instrument cries, "Who killed the python, granting you honor and power you claim as your own?" It cries softly, mournfully, "Who truly brought the princess back from the cave?" The sound of the instrument drifted into the royal palace, reaching the ears of Princess Gwyn No. Ever since being rescued from the eagle's cave, She had been sad and mute, not speaking or smiling. Hearing Thach Sang's music, she suddenly brightened up and asked her father's permission to meet the musician. Thach Sanh was summoned to the royal palace. He told the king and the court officials the entire story. The king ordered that Li Thong and his mother be arrested and held for trial, but Thach Sanh asked for them to be forgiven. On their way back to their hometown, they were struck by lightning and turned into beetles. Thach Sanh married Princess Gwyn No, and their wedding celebration was the grandest and most splendid the kingdom had ever seen. Learning that Princess Gwyn No was married to Thach Sanh, the princes from neighboring countries were furious. They united their forces, gathering armies from 18 nations to march against them. Thach Sanh played his magical instrument, and the enemy soldiers, after hearing the music, lost all their will to fight, removed their armors, and asked to surrender. Thach Sanh welcomed them with a feast. Amazingly, the small pot of rice he brought out never emptied, no matter how much was eaten from it. The allied princes bowed down in respect and then withdrew to their own lands. Later, the king passed down his throne to Thach Sanh, so he could use his talents to govern the land. Saint Jong